think our connection to the Scranton story is that we lived in a refugee camp in Uganda, being originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program, we came to the U.S. and specifically Scranton in 2015, in December of 2015. Since then, we've been here. It's gonna be 8 years in December this year. And there's a lot to say about that. But Scranton has been very welcoming.
It's a privilege, and so happy to be in America. That's what I would say. My family arrived in South Carolina, so I moved up here when I got married. So far, I'm happy to be in Scranton.
If you look at how life is in the refugee camp, you realize that because of poverty and just how life is set up, people tend to rely on each other more, and as a result, there is a very strong sense of togetherness. When we come to Scranton, it's not unique that you quickly realize that families will try to coalesce and get themselves together through communities. So we belong to the Congolese community of Scranton, which was originally 55 families, but not until a couple of months ago, when the Biden administration tried to reinstate refugee resettlement and increase the number of families coming to the U.S. We lived in this refugee camp in Western Uganda for more than 12 years, and that pretty much made what our life is right now. It makes who I am, it makes who we are, and what you realize, it makes you human. And when you come to the U.S., which is an opportunity, as she says, you feel like you're in a position where you advocate for those who are still going through the same kind of life that you lived. So it makes it very difficult for you to detach yourself from that refugee label, because if you do, that means you're also ending your advocacy, if I can say that, because the only way you can advocate for a group of people is you yourself to feel like those people.
I'm happy to be called a refugee because it's where I came from. Again, it's not because I'm in America that it has to change who I am. Because if today I'm in America and I tell myself I need to change, that means I'm forgetting where I came from. I cannot forget where I came from. To be a human is to remember. Life is good here. I am happy, very happy. But at the same time, I'm not happy. Very sad because my family's friends, relatives are going through a lot. Mm-hmm. If I'm eating, drinking, and my family is not eating, they don't have a nice place to sleep while I do. That feels me like I'm not complete. So if there's an opportunity for them to come too, I'll be very, very happy. Actually, I'll be the happiest person. Since we all came in 2015, I would say there's a lot of challenges, because they always tell us after 6 months, you have to make sure you adapt the life of America, which is not easy for someone who is coming to a different country.
The transition process is very complicated, and I think every family has a way it can tell the transition story. In our case, I think we're blessed because we came to the US when me and my young brother had been in school, so we spoke English when we came to the US. That's not the case with many families. You're from a place with zero, with nothing. The housing is terrible. The water is terrible. Education is terrible. You don't have a sense of security. And you come to Scranton, you're able to find a job. Your kids are able to go to schools. You're able to save some money and maybe purchase property. There are a lot of things that come with coming to the US. It becomes, an opportunity. A lot of people ask why you came to Scranton. In my case, the reason why me and my father and my brother ended up in Kengwali refugee camp in Western Uganda is because, a rebel group broke out in the village. We had our mom killed. We lost everything. My dad lost his job of teaching, and we ended up at the borders with Uganda. Ended up in a transit camp in southwestern Uganda, and then we're transported on trucks to the refugee camp, and the rest has been a story. It's not like we wanted to be in the refugee camp in the first place. It's because of war. It's because we lacked security. The state did not provide for us to us as its citizens, and we're forced to flee to save our lives. It's a story of survival. I think the city has to continue to be hospitable. It has a long, track record of welcoming people from all over the world. Scranton is actually international, and we do have a belief. My tribe believes that a family that receives visitors is blessed. The city receiving us as refugees, receiving many people who are immigrants. It's received a lot of workers from Europe in the past. I think the city should never, in its history, see that as a burden. It should see it as a blessing. It should see it as a good thing, as a positive thing. And I think it sets an example for the nation in a lot of ways.
So far, I've not had someone telling me that, why are you guys here? Well, I know some people, they would have this kind of question. And if you ask me why I'm here, I wouldn't mind to tell you why I'm here. I'm looking for life. I'm looking to it to survive. That's what I would say.
So coming to this country, the idea of a more perfect union, I think includes all of us, and it's asking, individuals like myself to ask themselves a question: how much are you contributing to making this union much more perfect? Are you voting? What are you doing? What are your contributions in preserving this democracy? I've for a long time been obsessed by the issue that I think continues to consume this country in terms of the political dialogue, the issue of racism. And I do think people do not put value to that conversation. And I think for a long time, we've had this discussion about how in South Africa, folks like Bishop Desmond Tutu, may his soul rest in peace, and the rest were able to come up with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and brought people together. That hasn't improved the situation overall, but somehow people are able to freely talk about race in South Africa, which is very unique in a sense, because in this country, you do have people who I think feel they're guilty of something, and you also have people who feel oppressed, and no one is trying to bring these people together so they can have this conversation in a productive manner. But also, I think the inequality that continues to also be very prominent in this country, where you do have people with excess and you do have people close to zero, and you ask yourself, why would a country like US have that?
Yes, there are some who are still struggling, not only black people, but white people too. Like every day when I walk across near my house, I see homeless people. That breaks my heart. So I ask myself, if we still have these people in our country, why are we welcomed with a good heart while we still have people in the country that still need help? But why are they not getting help? I feel bad, very bad. So these people deserve more too. Deserves the warmth. They should get benefits too, if it's possible. They should have shelters. You can't give me shelter when your family, friends are struggling to get what they need to have. So that breaks my heart.
Our life's made of stories.